you have arrived at the K.O.E. Nation. Now, this has all been very fascinating. There's something that, speaking of the last time we talked, you and I had a bit of a contention on things. And I've done my research, and I think I owe you a quarter of an apology. Not a full, not a half.
I think it's a full apology.
No. Now, did I have a bit of a Catholic spurg all over you?
I think it's a full apology. I think it's a full apology.
The man is a churchman. No. Because here's the thing I'm going to say, though, about the upside down cross. I understand that you're wanting to honor St. Peter, and that's perfectly well and good. And the problem is, it was two things. One was, he's actually here right now, Lethe Waterkai. Remember when he was on the show with us last? I said, okay, Lethe, you're a non-believer. You're just a man of the world. If you were to walk down the street and see a guy with a upside down cross, are you going to assume that he's a Christian honoring St. Paul? Or are you going to assume he's like a Satanist in a heavy metal band or something like that? And he says, I don't know. And it's like, that confusion should be all you need to hear. And the other thing that not
necessarily.
Okay. And
I'm going to stop you there 1 second. Not necessarily, because that is a great conversation piece. And for me, it's not necessarily honoring St. Paul, because I don't necessarily believe in honoring the saints.
Or St. Peter. I'm sorry.
St. Peter. I don't necessarily believe in honoring the saints. But what I do believe in is that Paul was sorry, not Paul. You got me all messed up. All right,
sorry, it's St. Peter. But Bandit goes, how, like, you're gonna love this. I'm sorry. He goes, how much did you mess up if you're giving a quarter apology? So yeah, Sprout's like, oh yeah, it was something, Bandit. You should have been there. But if I may, actually, no, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry, sir.
So it's not necessarily honoring St. Peter. It's the thought process that Peter had being crucified upside down. Peter saw himself as unworthy, right? And so me wearing St. Peter's cross would be a symbolism, at least to myself, and a great conversation piece for people who have questions, would be me seeing myself as unworthy for the gift that I've been given. I'm unworthy of salvation. I'm unworthy of God's love. I don't deserve this. And so that would be basically me saying I'm unworthy of this. I don't deserve this. I deserve punishment. I deserve hell. Ultimately, it's through God's grace and through God's forgiveness and mercy that I'm able to receive salvation. And so that's what St. Peter's cross means to me.
And that is all perfectly valid. And first of all, Lethe Water, now we have to ask in what manner K.O.E. would rather be crucified. None of the above. Actually, like, it's like the Tyrion Lannister answer in the Age of 80 in my own bed with a belly full of wine. Like, yeah, like that's how I would prefer to go see the Almighty. But the one thing that I would say as sort of a final counter to keep in mind, and it's why I would definitively not do so myself, in the Third Crusade, when Saladin captured the one true cross. Now, was it really the true cross? Who knows? It's probably just, there's no Pawn Stars certificate of authenticity for that, okay? But when Saladin the Third Crusade captured the one true cross, and it was paraded through the streets of Damascus upside down. In that moment, do you think he was trying to honor St. Peter, or was he trying to represent Christianity being overturned? And I think we both know that's how it appears to most of the world.
Ironically enough, I will offer you another counter, and it is a counter. It's going to be a counter that I don't think you're going to be able to counter back. So, Christianity, or being called a Christian, was originally meant as a slur against Christians. It meant little Christ, and it was used as a term to try and bring Christians down and say it was meant as a derogatory term towards Christians. But we took the term and we redefined the term, and we're like, no, we are Christians. You're right. We are little Christ. That's what we want to be. And so we kind of move forward with that. So I don't think that the way other people portray things, or the way other people want to use symbols, or the way other people want to do this, that, the other, necessarily defines how we have to do it. We are capable of taking that symbol or taking that word and saying, no, that is me. You're right. And here's why.
Like, I understand what you're trying to say, but because of the confusion that it brings, because you're trying to engage in the world, you're trying to convert others that are outside of the elect and bring them in. That's the one thing that we
Yes.
can do in this life that we can't do in heaven. Okay, and so that's why one of the reasons we're here. And so when you're having that level of confusion, you're to an extent trying to kick water uphill, because what you should is, like I said, best foot forward, have the cross of Christ, the one God man in one, front and center before you to the entire world. And that's what you represent to the world. That is what's most important to you. Yes, you are fallen just like St. Peter. Yes, you are unworthy just like St. Peter. But it was Christ who justified you, me, and everyone within God's glorious elect. And so that's why, because of that confusion, and because you are trying to communicate with that outside world, is why I would give deep pushback. Now, do I think you should use St. Peter's cross as a visual demonstration when you're giving a sermon? Absolutely. Absolutely. But do I think you as somebody who is a representative of the Christian lifestyle and of someone who's trying to represent to others to be more Christ-like, I would implore you against it. But I still offer my quarter apology.
I will take your full apology. And
Okay.
we'll
I'll
move
meet you.
forward with
I'll
that.
even kick it up to a third. Final offer. We're pawn starring this shit.
Listen, I'll take your full apology. I appreciate your full apology, and I'll accept it. And what I just think, I think it's a great conversation piece. I think it's a piece that people will be like, "Wait, you say you're a Christian, but you're wearing like you're wearing upside down. What's going on?" And it gives me a great opportunity to share with them my story and share with them why I wear a upside down cross or St. Peter's cross, and what that truly means to me. And so I truly believe that that's a great conversation piece for people who aren't Christians, and
I
to move
accidentally made his
forward
very
and
stunt.
kind of giving off my testimony.
Uh, that what I will say is there's potential there, and yes, conversation piece. I'll give you that. I will consider it's a conversation piece, but it might not go the way that you're wanting it to, and that's the thing. I keeps trying to implores you, sir. But I understand your perspective, and I think what I would say is don't commit to it fully, but maybe take it out for 1 or 2 days and see how it makes you feel. If you find yourself like, I kind of feel like a heavy metal, death metal asshole right now, then maybe come back to the cross of Christ and put that best foot forward to the world. But like, we'll see how you feel about it once you step out into the world doing such, sir. I'm going to stick with just one cross because, for most Christians, I feel like that's kind of confusing the issue. It's muddying the waters, and so that's kind of how I look at it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think that I think there's room for everybody, right? So I think there's certain people you'd be able to reach that I wouldn't be able to, and I think there's certain people that I would be able to reach that you wouldn't be able to.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I think that God sets us up in these ways and sets us up to reach the people that He wants us to reach. And so I think that you carrying yourself a different way than me carrying myself is completely okay, and I think it's actually encouraged. I don't want 25 million other Spartacuses, right? I want all of us to be who God's called us to be, and I think it's because we're called to reach different people.
Oh, God broke the mold when He made me, baby. Yeah. So there is only one Phil K.O.E, and thank the Lord above for it. Okay, like that. God, could you imagine? But now, Sprout, I've thoroughly enjoyed your company this evening, and why don't you tell the folks where they can find you, sir?
If you are interested in any of the content that I just talked about having, you can find me at twitch.tv/thespraticus or twitter.com/thespraticus. Both are technically just like dead right now. I haven't tweeted on Twitter in probably about a couple months, and haven't streamed it even longer. So just if you want to go follow those, I'll be live eventually. I can't guarantee a date because I don't like handing out guarantees and then not following through with them. But eventually, sooner, hopefully rather than later, I will be streaming and I'll be tweeting again. But yeah, looking forward to coming back in full force. and with some extra stuff that hasn't really been seen yet. So I'm looking forward to it.